Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Make It Rock, the show where I show you how I make it rock, and most importantly, how you can too. Let's say hello to the people we have here in the chat. Who do we got? Pete Irie, wake me up! Wake up! It's showtime! Wake up! Clayton Von Cluj, welcome. Good to see you, Cluj. We got Bonfire in the house. What's up, Bonfire? Chris Lane Sr. Gonna get to watch at least some of this. Mix Club has to go to supper, but thank you. Farting in the fan is happy times. There we go. That's the most important thing we're going to learn today, I think. Semtex Cal is here. What's up, Semtex? And we got, of course, one of our awesome mods here, Leela Verse. We had a great show earlier. Thanks to Jade as well for dumping everybody over here. Let's see who else we got. Counterfeit Self. Hey, good to see you, Dan. Hope you're doing fantastically here tonight. Hey, Dell, welcome. We got my lovely wife from downstairs. And so we're ready to rock. We're ready to roll. All right, let's get into things and get. So what am I gonna do here today? I'm gonna do something I haven't done on this channel for a long time. I did do it back ages ago when I was in like a larval. I was just a larval state, like a little baby Thomas Christ, still forming as a YouTube channel. But I haven't done it in a long time. But anyway, I thought I would show you over a course of shows. And hello, Tremor Bear, welcome. Thought I would show you over a course of shows how I might theoretically put a song together. In a very demonstration sort of a way. So we're gonna come over here. We're gonna come into this is of course FL Studio, which is my DAW of choice. You have your own DAW of choice, and that's always that's all cool. It doesn't, the thing is, it doesn't really matter. They all do the same. They make sounds, they record sounds, and playback sounds, and host VSTs and plugins, and that's pretty much it. They all work a little bit different, but yeah, I think there's some sense that you can get across the whole thing. So the way we're going to start this whole thing, if you have questions, go ahead, throw them in the chat as we go, and I'll try to get to them as I can. These are what I call the building blocks. When I sit down and I think, okay, I got to create a song, and I don't have lyrics already written. Sometimes if I have lyrics already written, you're exactly right, Chris Lane Sr. The DAW tribalism is kind of ridiculous. Just use the one that works for you and is affordable for you. That's all that really matters. So when I think about I'm gonna create a song, I don't have lyrics already pre-written for said song. I'm gonna go and do two things. I'm gonna bring up something to make drums with. In this case, I'm gonna get these out of the way for right now. I'm gonna use the FPC, which is the sampling drum machine, very similar to an MPC type of situation, but you got all your drums on here, So this is I don't even think I loaded. I could use that actually, but I'm gonna load up the HQ Rock Kit. So that gives you a little bit of a better sound, I think, for this kind of thing. And I'm gonna use the simplest bass of all. I'm going to use the boo bass, or boob ass. It always made me laugh that it's that. I'm sure that's intentional. Hey, Studio 6, well past your bedtime. You know what? It don't matter. Hey, Miss Stephanie, welcome. Welcome. Great to have you here with us. So yeah, just a basic bass. That doesn't mean I'm committed to this bass, because we live in the magical DAW universe, and we can change this out to anything later on. But right now, we're just trying to block some things out. So what I would do is just bring up a piano roll, and first of all, let's set the tempo. This is at 140, which is probably a bit fast, because I'm just trying to create basic rock song. I don't really know where this would go, but let's take it down to I don't know, 115. That seems like a solid starting point. Hey, Audible Video, welcome. Yeah, I like that. I like 115, and we're gonna go into the piano roll for this particular FPC with the HQ Rock drum kit. and we're just going to put some things in. Now, some of the key things to remember, the most important thing probably when you're creating beats, when you're creating drum patterns, is that the snare goes on 2 and 4. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4. So you want your snare to always, are there exceptions to this rule? Of course there are. But for most cases, you want to have your snare on 2 and 4. The kick is a bit more flexible. A lot of times you'll just simply have it on 1 and 3, so the first and the third beat. So 1 is kick, 2 is snare, 3 is kick, 4 is snare. That's a very basic pattern. And you're like, okay. I'm also going to go ahead. I'm going to just bring all these velocities up because for right now, we want to get as much velocity out of these as we can. There we go. And I mean, that's already a solid drum beat, but it could be a little more interesting, so we can add some additional stuff in there. So now we're kind of on the 3 and then the 3 and. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. We can add a little thing in there too. Dun 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 dun. Or you can create like these. See, even that, like these staggered beats. They're more popular in like hip hop, but you can put this on this kind of the in between beats there. You can also add extra snares in there if you want. But maybe I'm gonna stick with that. Hey, Pete Johns, welcome. Maybe I'm gonna stick with that. And this dun 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 dun. That works really nicely as well. And yeah, there you go. If you want to check out, we had Miss Stephanie on You Rock last week. She's got a fantastic artist. She's going to be interviewed by Jade coming up next month, I believe. So yeah, check out what Stephanie is doing. It's very cool. And hello to Pete Irie. Thank you. Now, if you're on a verse, what I like to do is I like to use the closed hi-hat, and I like to put them on all the beats. I mean, you can change this stuff up, and you can do different things, but this is just to create a basic thing, And now we're talking. So we got a basic little drum beat going there. Now, what I like to do is then once I have a basic little drum beat like this, I'll go over to the playlist, and I will paste that in. Okay. So we're just pasting in, make these a little bit bigger for you. We'll paste in like 8, 8 bars of that. And then what we can do is we'll go on the fourth measure of this, and we'll make it unique. So that makes this a whole new, we basically clones the pattern, is what we're doing. And then we can add a little bit more happening in terms of like a fill, kind of just a teeny little bit of a fill. We'll just see how that goes. So you got a little something happening there at the end. And then when we get to like this 8th measure, we'll clone that one. We'll probably want to make a bigger fill here. So we'll go in and we'll do that. So we can do something like this. And that gives us a nice little fill. to kind of end that whole segment there. So now if you hear the whole thing together. So now we got a nice little base. We got the. I like to think of this as like building the skeleton. We're building the skeleton. Have you ever been to like a museum and you see the skeleton of a dinosaur, a big freaking T-Rex or something? And this is like it's like creating the spine and the rib cage that all the meat and stuff is gonna hang on. So we got that there. Now what we can start doing is we can start figuring out like a baseline, just like simple stuff. Let's see here how we can do this. I'm gonna do this in D because yeah, D's a solid key. All right. So let's just see what we can. Let's see what we can put together. I could play it in with a keyboard too. But I want to show you this. Clicking the boxes. We're clicking boxes. There's nothing more rock and roll than clicking frickin' boxes. But I'm just trying to get some kind of a bass line happening here. Now, why do I choose certain things? I kind of like have a instinctual knowledge of what works, but you can keep with keys that are related to the key that you're in. So if you're in D, you go to A, you go to E, you go stuff like that. Now I like to work in certain kind of like I don't even know what the name of the scale is, but it's like it's the evil scale. So it's like something along those lines. Anyway. Now let's see here. Now I actually made a mistake here that I shouldn't have done. So I'm gonna actually cut that out because what I did is I put it on the same pattern. You can do that, or you can create a new pattern, which is probably better. And we'll put it in the new pattern. We'll just paste it in like that. It's just like working in a Word document or something, which is exciting. All right, so we'll go in and see how this is working now with the. All right, now we want to do something that's really kind of evil, so because it's me. So we'll just go down to this. We'll go down to this G sharp here. This is gonna end up sounding pretty like Halloweeny, I think, which I'm okay with. Now all these notes are exactly the same length to start with. Oh, that's right. I wanted that to go. The last 4 notes we go down to this D sharp. We got a solid start already. So this will function. I think something like this could function as sort of the verse for the song. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this. I'm going to do Command B, which on this particular DAW duplicates the pattern. So we're duplicating the pattern. Now, what I am going to do is I'm going to take this last drum pattern here. I'm going to make that unique again. And then I'm just going to go in here. And I'm in the bass. I need to be in the drums again. We're going to create an even bigger fill to go into the chorus. This is going to take us in to the chorus. So let's see here what we can do, you know. Um, So that'll be a bigger fill that will take us into the chorus there. So we'll go back to the verse here. I'll go back to the playlist here. Hello, Gortium. Welcome. Now, what I might also do, because I just thought this would be nice, is instead of going down at the end of this one, we're going to go up. And I know what note in my head I want to go up to, but I'm not exactly sure what it is. So I just have to figure it out. Okay, it's a C. That's what we want to do. We're going to go up to the C. All right, there we go. And we'll just see what that sounds like at the end there. And there we go. Now we got a great lead in to that chorus, and then we have to figure out what we want to do as far as the chorus goes. So what I'll do for the chorus is I'll actually take this pattern that we use for the verse, and we're going to manipulate that into our pattern for the chorus. So we'll make this unique again. We'll clone it, and then what we'll do is we'll come in here. Now, one of the key things I think with doing chorus is instead of having the hats on 1, 2, 3, 4, they're going to be on 1 and 2 and 3. So they're going to be on the 16th beats and not the 8th beats. So, and we can go up to like an open hat here. With a hat, this one's a half open hi-hat, and we will add more in on those half beats there. And that already is giving you a great basis. And I could even take these like first ones down and make them the pedal hi-hat. It just gives a little more groove there. Oh yeah, we can put crashes in too. Sometimes I do that, sometimes I don't. It depends. But you just put them in. Put them in right. I hate that crash. I hate that crash, but you know what? It won't matter at the end of the day. All right. So there we go. We have it. That should be good for the we can even spice that up a bit more, I think. Actually. So we'll go with that. We'll go with that. That'll be good. And then yeah, then we'll figure out something to do here for this chorus. So we'll just make a bunch of these for another 8 bars or so. And we will make a new pattern. There we go. And I think what I'm going to do is something like this. And you can use, like, space is a great thing to use. Hey, Kubrick Lover, welcome. Space is a great thing to use in these. So I might go up to a higher octave here. And just... So we're going to do a little bit of this. So we're kind of keeping some of the same harmonic motifs as the verse, but we've moved this up to this higher octave. This is what we've come up with. Hey, Jade Star, welcome. Thanks for sending everybody over here earlier. Great show. All right, so I'm pretty happy with that, and I'm gonna just throw that in here, and we'll see what this is sounding like. Now, I think this, like just like we did with the verse, I'm gonna change up the bass pattern on the second part of this, and we're just gonna move that note to there, and I think that'll do what we need it to do. All right, there we go. So we got the end to the verse, and we have to do kind of the similar thing to what we did with the verses. So I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna make this one clone this pattern. And we're gonna add a little bit of drum interest here at the end. And it could be as simple as just doing that. Let's see how that works. Yeah, yep. I think that's all we need there. And then we'll go to this last one. And of course, we'll need a more dramatic situation happening here with the drum fill at the end. Let's see how this works. Yeah, I think that's going to work. So there we go. We have we now have a verse and a chorus that we, have for our skeleton, the building blocks of a song. And I'm going to go ahead and save this. So let's just review what we've done so far. This is all our verse. 16 bars for the verse. And here we go, into the chorus. Now we need something to take us into the second verse, which is where a little thing that I like to call the transition comes in. It's just a name I made up. I don't know if it's a real thing or not, but I made it up, and so we have a transition that will take us then into the next verse. So I'll take this pattern. Maybe, yeah, let's do that. That's fine. We'll take the chorus pattern. We're gonna make it unique again. And then I'm going to come up here, and maybe thing we could do is just get rid of all the snares. So we get rid of all the snares, get rid of the crash. We don't need the crash there. So we can do that, and this is usually going to be four. This is usually going to be four measures. So, and then we'll do make it unique. Clone this last measure, and we'll add another kind of drum fill to take us into the next verse. Let's just do something real simple there. All right. And then what we might want to do with this bass, we're going to need bass here, and so we can really keep it very simple on this part. And we can just kind of go. By the way, I think this boo bass, I think this boo bass is an octave higher than most other things. So if I go to change this sound, I'm probably going to have to drop it down an octave or change the default pitch of it. Either way will work. So let's see. Honestly, I mean, we could just keep like a D going there. And then do something like this. And then I think I'm going to make this one unique. That should work for us. So there we go. So now we have our first transition, which will take us into verse 2 and the next chorus. And what I'll do is I'll just come over here to this playlist and make it a little bit bigger and make these a little bit smaller so I can see it all. And we'll grab the select tool. You can, and literally this is stuff you can do. You can do this in Logic, no problem. And we're just going to copy all that and we're going to paste it. And then we've got two verses. There we go. Two verses ready to go. And now the next part is the bridge. Ooh. Bridge, always that's the one of the trickiest parts of the whole thing. Is getting a bridge. So, if we come up with some kind of bridge. Now what I like to do is instead of duplicating another drums, I could duplicate them again. But I like to come up with a whole new drum pattern that I'm going to use as the basis for the bridge. And I mean, we can go into like halftime with this if we wanted to. So what that means is instead of having the snare on 2 and 4, you'll have the kick. You'll have kick on 1 and then the snare will be on 3. So this gives you the halftime feel. So we can do something like that. Yeah, there we go. Dun, 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 dun. And then, of course, you want to put those hats. Instead of on every beat, put them on every other beat. And now we have like a halftime feel there with that. All right, I like that. I'm going to go with it. Let's get back to this playlist. We will put that in here. And of course, they're twice as long because it's halftime. Let's take these and let's make So we'll have two that will kind of bring us in, another transition that's going to take us into this bridge part. And then we'll kind of just extend these out. Let's see. Maybe that will work. That might be enough. Maybe just kind of 4 of those be enough for the bridge. So come in here. We're going to make this one unique. And for this one, we will take out the snares and maybe put in some toms in here. So any of these empty spaces, you can start kind of just throwing toms in there. So that might be good, just to bring us into this bridge. And then we'll clone this one, and we can add a little bit more of like some kind of fill just to get us in there. And something like that should work pretty well. Actually, I might do that. A little bit faster. Snares in there. All right, so that'll get us into bridge. I'm going to come up with the bridge bass part first. I think I'm going to do this on the keyboard just to make my life a little bit easier. So I'll create a new pattern. I'm going to select this area. We'll just do half of it because it'll probably do some kind of repeat. And we'll get on to this boo bass. I'm going to have to scale those levels up too. But we'll figure that out. Let's record that. There we go. All I'm doing here is I'm just going to go into the scale levels. Just so they're the same as the other ones. I could also quantize this. Yeah, you know, that might make it a bit too mechanical. I don't mind it. It's alright. Alright. We're going to take that. Make another one. And let's make that unique. And all I'm going to do, I'm going to change a very small thing on this. At the end, where it goes kind of back down, do 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 do. It's gonna go do do do. There we go. All right. So I could probably take. We can do a little trick here. And we'll take this pattern 19, and we're just going to cut it in half and only use the first part of it to come into this. But I could take this, I could make it unique, and yeah, so we want this one. There we go. And then we'll paste that again. We'll clone it, make it unique, and let's see what we can do here. All right, I like that. So this brings us into the bridge. There we go. I honestly think that all of these might need to come down an octave. I'm being very fastidious here about this, but I think it'll be better. There we go. Okay, another thing I want to do. Let's go into this pattern 16. And I think we need these hi-hats actually to be on every beat. Even though we're in halftime, I think it's just going to give it a little more movement. Yeah, that's what it needed. It won't have it going into it, but it'll have it on that part. All right. So then all I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this one here at the end, and we're going to need another. We're going to need another little drum thing to get us out of here. Yeah, that works for me. That works for me. Now let's see about getting into what I like to call the finch. Do you know what the finch is? I have a finch. Every song I do has a finch. It's the final chorus because it's F-I-N-C-H. I just call it the finch. It's an important part. An important part of every song is the finch. And so I'm going to take this chorus. We'll just take the last one that I did here. All right. So, well, before we get into that, though, I do need to transition back into the chorus. So we'll grab a chorus thing, and maybe on this one, what let's do is let's get rid of the kick. I think we got rid of the snare on the last one. We can get rid of the kick on this one. This is just little tricks that I've picked up. I've just figured out. Okay, I don't think we want that crash either. So we can stretch that out. Now we can try a few different things. Let's see this. This is the actual chorus pattern. I don't know if this is going to work here or not. No, I don't think it will. I think we have to create all new. That's okay. We can do that. So we'll create a new bass pattern here. But we will keep some of that. We'll keep some of that rhythm. Da 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 da. So it'll still be echoing that chorus a little bit. Yeah, that might be good. All right. So we have that. We're going to make it a unique again. And we're just going to switch that up to there. So we've got this nice little thing to take us into the chorus now. Final chorus, the Finch. That didn't sound right. Okay, I know what I did wrong. I need one more D there. And we'll do the same thing here. All right, now we are ready. Yeah, if you haven't, if you're enjoying this stream, if you're getting something out of this stream, please hit that like button. I would really appreciate it. All right, I think we've got our means of our transition into the chorus. And the only thing we really need other than that is I'm going to take this last pattern. You know what I'm going to do. We're going to add some fillage. There we go. All right. Maybe move that over. There we go. Now we got a great fill to take us into the final chorus. So how do we do the final chorus? Well, we take a regular chorus that's not a final chorus, like this one. We'll copy it with Command C, and then we'll paste it. You guessed it, with Command V or Control V if you're on a Windows computer. All right, so let's listen to that going into that. Now, I think for these last ones, I'm going to get rid of those. I'm going to make this unique. And we're going to get a little bit crazier here. So make these drums, make them a little bit crazier. We added in some extra hats in there and some extra crashes. So that'll amp up the intensity a little bit for this last bit. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to take this last one in the sequence here at the end of the chorus, and we're going to put the biggest fill we can put in there possible. Everything, all the things. Oh, yes. There we we go. Maybe we can even break this down further like that. Then we're gonna need a final kind of note to go out on there. So we'll just add a new thing. And of course, it's most likely if you're in D, you're gonna end on a D. It doesn't always have to be that way, but most of the time that's gonna be what you want to do. And we'll just stretch that out for like a measure and a half. That's usually a good length. So that's our base, and we'll do a new pattern. We'll go into the rock kit, and we'll add like a crash and a snare and a kick, all on the first beat, and we'll throw that in there, and then you'll see how this just ends. There we go. Is it simple? Yeah, it's simple, but it's a good starting place for a song. So then I'm actually placing this loop thing. This is a weird quirk of FL Studio, because unless you place this loop thing, this will tell you where to end the song at. Otherwise, it just loops back to the beginning. So now with that, now it'll end, and it'll go up to that point, and it'll be the end. Wow, like magic. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? That's why I love doing this. This is great. Beginning of the song. That's always the toughest part. That's what I was talking about before. The start of a song is very, very challenging. So let's see. We'll make this a quick intro. I don't usually do quick intros like this, but hey, Deep Gravity, good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well and keeping well. All right. So I've selected 8 measures right there, just like that. And I'm going to go into edit, and I'm going to go into insert space. And now there's space where there was no space before. And what's nice is that automatically pushes everything down. So including that ending of the song that I do is going to be pushed down as well. Well, we're they carry this on in part 3. We'll carry it on in part 2, because this is only part 1 of the songwriting series, getting the bass and drums in there, and we are pretty much, we're 9/10 of the way there. So intro of the song, we're gonna just keep this really freaking simple, which has been the MO here all along. Again, the piano roll. Let's create a new thing. And let's just do some like. We'll do some like dun 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 dun. Hey, adorable anarchy, welcome. Great to see you. So we'll just do some like dun 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 dun. A bit make that a G sharp. All right. And we have to keep this alternating pattern of 3, 2, and 3. Here we go. All right, so we got some bass in there. Now, maybe on measure 5, the drums kind of kick in, and we'll kick them in. Where's my channel rack at? There we go. We'll kick them in with some hi-hat. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to start that at the beginning of the song. I am going to start that at the beginning. Hey, YouTube person, welcome. All right. So we've got that. Then we will make it unique. And we could do some, we could actually do some more toms. There we go. All right, I like that. We will roll with that. And then all we got to do is do something that's going to bring us in here to the first verse. So some kicks, some snares. I'm all right. I can live with that. Hey, take care, Tremor Bear. Thanks for hanging out for a while. Hey, MJ Driven to Right. What's going on, man? How you doing? So yeah, here we go. All right, let's just play this whole thing because I think we basically accomplished what I needed to accomplish here today. We created an entire song, drum and bass only. Drums and bass only, not drum and bass. That's a whole other thing. But let's play it. Let's play through it. And you can imagine here comes the chorus. Yeah! 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 Here comes the chorus. Yeah! 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 Here comes the chorus. Ah! We got this creepy bit. We're gonna. Another verse is happening here. We don't have any lyrics yet, but that doesn't matter. We'll We'll figure that out in another episode. But I like this much for the show. Yeah! 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 Here comes the chorus! Yeah! 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 Here comes that chorus! And then here's our little going into the bridge. I'm not sure about what I'm gonna do in the bridge, but it could be anything. That's the beauty of making music. Yeah! 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 Here comes that chorus! Yeah! 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 The final chorus! Yeah! There we go. There we go. We did it. That is the building blocks as the skeleton of a song. We'll continue to work on it here. I don't know if it'll be anything. Maybe it will be. Maybe it'll be something that I'll use, or maybe it'll just be something I use to demonstrate. But either way, that's kind of how I do it. Hope it made some sense. Yeah. Pete Johns has transparent hair. Sorry, Pete. Oh, man. Bad cow. You got bad cow disease. No. But anyway, thank you all so much for being here. Really do appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget we have You Rock coming up tomorrow. I think the show is pretty much full. So if you didn't get in already, sorry. But yeah, maybe room for one or two more, but that's probably about it. But I hope you do tune in. I hope you come on over tomorrow for You Rock. We're going to have a lot of great music coming up tomorrow. I can tell you that. And Thomas Christ Live on Friday. I'll figure it out what that's going to be. Everyone gets to leave with that mental image. All right. Well, thank you all so very, very much. If you haven't hit the like, please hit that on the way out. If you're not subscribed to the channel, consider subscribing. And we have the Patreon if you want to join and help support in a bigger way. Of course, that's fantastic as well. Other than that, man, everybody keep rocking. Much love and keep rocking. That's the thing I'm supposed to say. Anyway, take care, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow. And don't forget, we got Leela coming up tomorrow, live from the Leelaverse. Jade Star is doing a show on King of VHS, and then I'll be up with You Rock. So there we go. Much love. Keep rocking. All the stuff. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.